Man's search for the divine is as old as time itself. It crosses barriers of space, culture and traditions to manifest itself in ways that are as varied as the manifestations of the divine. The journey can begin anywhere, veer its way through myriads of terrains, find paths that are as varied as the human spirit, make a home wherever it hears the call. The Auliya, Sufi saints of the subcontinent, are travelers on this journey, and they stopped along the path in places like Ajmer, Delhi, Pakpatan, Golra Sharif, Kalyar, Sevan Sharif, and many other abodes and contemplated the divine. However, they did not do this in isolation. They shared their experiences with those who lived with them, common people, people of every faith, caste, creed, and belief, with the mendicant, with the king, with poets and singers, with intellectuals, and the simple folk. Today, as we find ourselves not in South Asia but in the US, we who seek the face of God, we look to the lessons of the Auliya. We live in turbulent times. Islamophobia has been on the rise. Muslim Americans are faced with the threat of discrimination. The younger generation is unsure of its future as practicing Muslims in this country. We can just watch as all this unfolds or make an effort to do something about it. This is where the Auliya Council of North America comes in. We heed the words of Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti when he says, "With our spiritual light, dispel the darkness of ignorance, dissolve the clouds of discord and war, and spread goodwill, peace, and harmony among the people." We strive to do the same by using symbols, traditions, and tariqas, colors, song, and metaphors, the shared and ancient images of an ultimate environment together as expression of our unified faiths. So we need a space. It would not be enough to act alone. This space is for all of us. Humility is at the heart of our mission. We don't have all the answers, and that's why we need you. We need all of us to do this together, because together we are the shareholders of our children's future and the coil of our daily lives. This Khanqahe is an effort by like-minded people from our souls. Today, there is a strong global movement, an impulse that wants to dissolve the boundaries that religions have put up and end the sectarian violence, at least where we come from and in our immediate environments. This Khanqahe is a refuge of these ideas. Welcome to Auliya Council of North America. We are grateful to God to be blessed with a home of our own, where we celebrate gifts of oneness, love, and peace bestowed to us by God for all of humankind. Through the Quran, we believe the divine message is for all people in all times. The equality of human beings in all aspects of human life is evidenced all over the Quran and acknowledged in divine messages.
डॉक्टर महदी साहब ने बहुत बड़ा कारनामा अंजाम दिया है। ये जो बिगुल बजाया है नॉर्थ अमेरिका में औलिया काउंसिल ऑफ नॉर्थ अमेरिका बनाकर, जिसके के ज़ेर निगरानी खानकाहे चिश्तिया फरीदिया हुसैनिया बनाई है आपने, यानी कि स्पिरिचुअल मोनास्ट्री। क्योंकि बर्रे सग़ीर के लोगों को एड्रेस करना है और बर्रे सग़ीर में इस्लाम तवस्सुल औलिया कामिलीन के फैला, और इसमें कलीदी रोल हज़रत ख्वाजा मुइनुद्दीन हसन चिश्ती का है। देखिए, बर्रे सग़ीर में खानकाहों से ही मस्जिद वजूद में आई और लोगों को कलमा पढ़ाया गया। आज अमेरिका में अगर खानकाही निज़ाम पर, स्पिरिचुअलिटी पे, सूफीज़म पे, इस्लामिक मिस्टिसिज्म पे ज़ोर नहीं दिया और इस्लामी तारीख़ पर और रसूल और आले रसूल की मोहब्बत दिलों में पेवस्त नहीं की, तो यहाँ की आने वाली जो नस्ल है, जो जनरेशन है, वो सिर्फ जुम्मे टू जुम्मे नमाज वाली रह जाएगी और आने वाले 2-3 पीढ़ियों बाद उससे भी हाथ धो बैठेंगे, जैसे लैटिन अमेरिका में हुआ।
The divine light as revealed to us by our Prophet Muhammad defines humans as one of the images of God. He came to us as Rahmatul Alameen, mercy for all creations and worlds, not as Rahmatul lil Muslimin, implying His blessings are on all of us, with no exception to religion, different belief systems, and ways of worship. Propelled with this idea that was advanced in the Indian subcontinent by Sufia and inspired by their work, we at Auliya Council of North America are steeped in this message and have created a space of inclusiveness, oneness, and inclusion and tolerance for all Muslims. In fact, it is a space for all of God's creation, whether they be Muslims, Jews, Christians, or any other faith. We heed our Prophet and his Al's call of inclusion and celebrating each other's faiths and traditions. In one hadith he says, the best of faith is patience and tolerance. In another, he instructs us to be tolerant and receive tolerance. The idea of the Auliya Council of North America emerged from this deep attachment to the message of the Auliya. Dr. Mehdi Kazmi, along with the support from some of his friends, created this organization as a first step towards realization of the idea of a place where, as in the dargahs, shrines of the Sufi saints, people from all walks of life, of all beliefs and faiths, could come together in common purpose, a search for the divine. Some of our first events were organized at NYU in the Hegop Kevorkian Ettinghouse Library with help from one of our members, Professor Taira Naqvi, who teaches there. We celebrated more than one Ursu Khwaja Gharib Nawaz, Baba Farid Shakarganj, the 13th Rajab birthday of Imam Ali, Guru Nanak's birthday, held a conference on Khwaja Gharib Nawaz, arranged several Mehfil-e Samaz, and organized a Sufi Ghazal program.
قتل حسین اصل میں مرگ یزید ہے قتل حسین اصل میں مرگ یزید ہے اسلام زندہ ہوتا ہے ہر کربلا کے بعد وہ مٹ گیا دور اب یزیدوں کا مٹ گیا دور اب یزیدوں کا اب زمانہ میرے حسین کا ہے اب زمانہ میرے حسین کا ہے مٹ گیا دور اب یزیدوں کا مٹ گیا دور اب یزیدوں کا یزید کی بات کٹا دیا سر کو مٹ گیا دور اب یزیدوں مٹ گیا دور اب یزیدوں کا اب زمانہ میرے حسین کا ہے.
Without a space, we were wanderers. And so we have finally sought to create a space here, a Khanqahe where a community built on the ideas of the Auliya, derived from their deep understanding of Islamic spirituality, can thrive and continue the search which stirs all of us, regardless of where we come from and who we are. The story of Auliya Council of North America begins in Medina and brings us here to this space in Mahopac, New York, by way of the dargahs and Khanqahs, Sufi monasteries of the subcontinent. Sufism is the softest path of Islam towards God. A Khanqahe is a place of spiritual and physical sustenance. It is a practicing institution of tolerance and inclusion where there is a celebration of the divine as it reveals itself in the many-colored tapestry of humanity.
Go elsewhere, and that journey ends up in Baharsar, for me at least, my mother's village in what is now Rajasthan. And then we find refuge here of all places in Mahopac. I didn't know that this place existed only about a year ago. I found out about this area.
इस मौके दे उत्ते और खास करके हजरत अली रज़ी अल्लाह अन्हु उन्हां दे ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ।
हम दोनों ने इस स्टेप के अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रगल किया है। आई वुड से बहुत सारे टाइम्स ऐसे थे जब हमें SBA ने हमारा लोन डिनाई कर दिया। काज़मी साहब एंड आई हैड नो अदर ऑप्शन। बताने का मकसद ये है कि चीज़ जब बन जाती है उसके पीछे स्ट्रगल को बताना।
I am so happy that my dream has been fulfilled.
That alam is the flag of Islam. अमेरिका का अपना फ्लैग है, पाकिस्तान का अपना फ्लैग है। पाकिस्तान का फ्लैग यहाँ नहीं लगा सकते, अमेरिका का फ्लैग वहाँ नहीं लगा सकते, एक्सेप्ट कि वो एम्बेसीज हों, कॉन्सुलेट्स हों, जो कि उनकी प्रॉपर्टी होती है। लेकिन ये अलम सारी दुनिया में लगा हुआ है।
Khanqahe attached to a dargah serves as a conduit for individual solace, for peace, inner peace, and the ability to search for it.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। इन्ना अतैनाकल कौसर फसल्लि लिरब्बिका वन्हर इन्न शानिअका हुवल अब्तर। This is a consoling revelation delivered to our prophet, to my prophet. I come from that position.
In naming this Khanqahe, Dr. Kazmi has kept the idea of inclusiveness in mind. The Khanqahe Chishtiya Faridiya and Hussaniya Sajjadiya is a Khanqahe, an Imam Bargah, a mosque, a space for qawwalis or mehfil-e-sama, talks, lectures and interfaith dialogue. It will include a food pantry, a library. It will be a place where inclusiveness, tolerance, diversity and love will be the call. We have already organized an opening, a milad, an alam nasab ceremony and several meetings here.
My name is Ahmed Muhayyideen. I was blessed with this remembrance from Baba Muhayyideen. But first let me give the message that I came to deliver. Because I lived for 15 years with an Auliya Allah. And when I went to your home in Ajmer, I smelled the same fragrance that I smelled with him. But I never smelled that fragrance with my nose. There is another organ that can smell the fragrance of the light of God. That's not the emotional heart. It's deeper than the emotional heart. The emotional heart learns from the world. The heart that smells the fragrance of the Auliya Allah remembers in awal the communion of the soul with Allah. When Allah and the souls resonate, am I not your Lord, he says. And all of humanity resonates with that.
बांदाज़े नबूवत दीन की तबलीग फरमाई, बाल्फाज़े दिगर पैगम्बर हिंदुस्तान ख्वाजा। वाह, आप दाई इस्लाम के मुबल्लिग हैं। मौलवियों ने तो तफरीक डाली है। आज हमें गैर मुस्लिम मुसलमान मानता है, लेकिन ये मुसलमान आपस में मुसलमान मानने को तैयार नहीं है। और जिन्होंने कलमा पढ़ाया उन्होंने अपने उसने सलूक से सीरत नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम पे चल के जो ख्वाजा मोइनुद्दीन चिश्ती ने कलमा पढ़ाया, आज 70 करोड़ मुसलमान बर्र सगीर में इस्लाम ठाठे मार रहे हैं। ये उन्हीं की देने और लौट के वापस इसी तसव्वुफ की तरफ आना है।
We are here, however, to try to revive the true image of the Sufi teachers who knew something about tolerance, inclusion, the value of diversity, the essentials of rubbing shoulders with everyone without pushing and shoving. Every Muslim must believe in his own way. Every person from any other faith must conduct their own passage to God. Our goal is to join hands with others regardless of what their faith, religious tenets or relationship with God is, and create an atmosphere where the teachings of the Sufi Auliya guide us in developing a philosophy of harmonious living. We ask you today to join hands with us and help us create a space where our young people can come and feel connected in a positive way to their spiritual heritage.
ये बाग बाड़ी आबाद रहे और इसको पर लग जाए, इसको रंग लग जाए, चिश्तिया रंग। मैं जानता हूँ अमेरिका में बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो औलिया कामलीन के मानने वाले, उन्हें एक प्लेटफॉर्म की तलाश थी और डॉक्टर साहब ने बड़ा कमाल किया है, आप लोगों को एक प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड किया है। क्या खूब कह गए मोइनुद्दीन कि दीन की पनाह हुसैन।